This party started and I'm coming up, I'm coming. Hey guys, I don't know if you can hear me now, but I am having a beach party. I've been here at the beach in Mexico, been at the pool with the kids, been at the beach. I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Right over there is the ocean, but I came back here to get a little bit of quiet and hopefully some better internet so that I can chat on this after party with you guys. So today I'm actually going to talk about drinks. I have my pina colada right here. I've been enjoying this week. I personally don't drink alcohol, so they're virgin pina coladas, but you can always spruce it up as you wish. So let's talk about how to create some party drinks. I'm actually going to share my screen with you because I have a few different recipes for you that we can talk about. All right. So you guys ready to have some party drink? I think that usually drinks are where the party gets started. People, they start with the drinks and then maybe some appetizers and some dishes, and Carrie's going to talk about dishes after this. But right now we are going to talk about our party drinks. So the first one is, of course, our tropical colada. So refreshing. And what I like to do with this is add a little bit of wild orange. So it gives it more of a tropical twist and fruity twist to just a regular pina colada. I also like to add a scoop of the vanilla trim shake because I like to have this as kind of like a refreshing afternoon snack on a hot summer day, or even sometimes as my breakfast if I'm, just on vacation and trying to get some R&R going on, and sometimes a heavy breakfast just doesn't feel right for me. So the trim shake is actually available in vanilla and chocolate. I do some yummy things with the chocolate ones as well, but for this recipe, we have the vanilla trim shake, and that only has 70 calories per serving, but you also get 8 grams of protein with that. And it also has the Essentra trim, which is a really amazing patented weight loss ingredient that helps counteract and manage your cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone that helps you, it's just associated with storing fat. So I really love having the Essentra trim in my drinks. It also has Solathin, which is a special protein. It's an extract from natural food sources of protein. And what it does is it just helps you have that feeling of being full, so you're not constantly eating, and kind of just curbing your appetite so that you're always feeling satisfied and not having to eat all day long. So I really like having that in the trim shakes. You do actually get the feeling of being full. I like to make this with almond milk, frozen pineapple, frozen mango, Greek yogurt. One thing I always do, we always have bananas in our house, but sometimes, like some weeks, our bananas will fly right out of the cupboard and they're gone, or the counter. And some weeks they just start to go brown before anybody's even had a chance to look at them. So anytime that happens, I just peel them and put them in a little baggie and put them in my freezer. So I always have, and I break them in half. So I have a whole freezer or section of the freezer that has a bunch of half of bananas that are frozen. And so that makes a really easy way to throw it into a frozen smoothie. So we put all of these in a blender, blend well, and benefits of the wild orange is it's a really great cleanser and purifying agent. So I love drinking it internally, even in water. It also helps support healthy immune function, which we've been talking about today, and is a very uplifting, it's a mood elevating oil, as is all of our citrus oils. So I love that one. I also sometimes am in the mood for a healthier green smoothie. So this one is just a little bit of a variation where you're still using the wild orange and the vanilla trim shake, but it's got raw spinach and chia seeds. You put those in a blender. So this is very similar benefits, except for it's more of the greens. Another thing that I like to do, like if my produce is going bad, or before it goes bad, obviously, I don't put bad produce, but smoothies are a really great way to throw in like any extra cucumbers that I just kind of freeze them up. I'll also use that as a juicer option too. I can juice them and then add them to my smoothie. So that's a great way to use that. Okay. Oh, These last two smoothies that I've talked about, those are actually found on the doTERRA blog, so I'll show some references for that later. This next one is from the Essential Mixologist book. Wonderful Jules on our team is really brilliant, and she's mixed up a whole book full of cocktails and mocktails that are really some of my favorite. So this mango latte, it has mango juice, coconut or almond milk, rose water, which you should be able to buy at just any store or even online. And then cardamom is the oil that we're using in this one, which is really fun. It gives it like a more of like an earthy flavor, and it has it's so good for your digestive system. It promotes clear breathing. It promotes respiratory health. And this is one of my favorite oils. I love it if like sometimes you haven't eaten, or maybe you're not feeling so hot, but you know you need to get some food in your body, but you're not necessarily in the mood for anything heavy. This is a great drink to go along with maybe some light appetizers. This is really great to have at a party where you don't want to be serving maybe a lot of extra food. This is a really great along with those, because it is a little bit filling, and it has, with that coconut milk, it kind of has a little bit more of a filling flavor than some drinks. And you know, you can add alcohol to this as well if you want. You can add your rum or whatever you wish. We also have the Mandarin Mimosa. So this is using the ylang ylang, which is a very sensual oil. It's actually an aphrodisiac. And so you add it to the mandarin juice, and you kind of infuse that mandarin juice there. And then you can use it with fizzy water, or again, you could add your alcohol to this as an actual mimosa. But this is just more of a mocktail. And that ylang ylang provides really great antioxidant support. It's really fantastic for healthy skin, for healthy hair, lifts your mood, and it's very calming. This is really nice for those nice evening type of cocktail parties where you want more of a smooth, refreshing type of drink. And it's a great one for like a romantic dinner because of that ylang ylang. We also have the lavender lemonade fizz. This is just spring water. You're actually going to create your own homemade lemonade mix with warming up some spring water, adding a cup of honey. You want to cool that off, then you add in your lemons, and you can store a lot of these juices. I got some glass jars from the Container Store that I just keep in my house and kind of fill some of these things, because when you're making homemade lemonade or some of the other juice concoctions, sometimes it's enough work that you want to fill a couple of containers full and then use them throughout the next few days. And so that's what I do, even with the juices that I make in the morning with the fresh pressed juice. So then you want to take your 2 drops of lavender and combine that with a 16-ounce jar of homemade lemonade. And like I said, I get my jars at the Container Store, but you can just use mason jars or any type of glass container, right? Then you add extra honey if you want a little bit more sweetness for this. And lavender is very calming. It's very soothing for the skin. It's great for anxiety, great for stress. If you happen to be using this, it's a refreshing one, like at the side of a pool party, for example. Lavender is fantastic for any like after sun skin soothing or bug bites or anything like that. But I like this one during the summer. My kids love this. It's super refreshing and very light. It does take a little bit more time with the prep work of creating the homemade lemonade. You could obviously add it to a pre-made lemonade if you wish as well. It's just not quite as delicious. And then you can just garnish with a little lavender sprig as well to make it that pretty display. Another one that I like is this Bellini, which has rosemary infused into some peach nectar. So again, that's just something that you can pre-make ahead of time. And then you can add fizzy water, or you can add alcohol instead, because you just need an ounce of that rosemary infused peach nectar. Otherwise, it will be too overwhelming in the taste. And so we want these drinks to be a little more refreshing and have that slight hint of rosemary in the peach, which makes it super delicious. So as a mocktail, fizzy water, if you wanted to create an actual cocktail, then you can add your alcohol instead of the fizzy water. And then you can just garnish that with a beautiful rosemary sprig, which makes this beautiful display, as Jules has demonstrated here. This is an image just from her book, directly from there. Rosemary is great for digestion. It's really great for healthy respiratory function. It helps reduce any tension and fatigue. And rosemary is good. I mean, it's one of those oils that helps with like mental clarity. And it also helps, it's one of the things that we'll use with along with peppermint for hangovers. So if you do have too many drinks, then you always want to turn to your rosemary or your peppermint for any type of hangover relief that you might have the next morning. Then we've got wassail. We are heading into the winter months, so you can use essential oils to infuse not just your fun summer refreshing drinks, but also some of the more warm and rich drinks as we're going into Thanksgiving and into Christmas here in North America, obviously. And so this is one of my favorite recipes. This comes from the doTERRA blog as well, and it utilizes quite a lot of different oils. So we have the cinnamon bark oil, which is fantastic for circulation. It's really great for immune. It's one of the main oils in the On Guard blend. We have the lemon oil, which is also going to be a mood elevator, but it's also very good at cleansing and detoxifying, as well as the wild orange. Wild orange is also it's kind of interesting because it's an elevating oil. It's uplifting and it elevates your mood, but it's also a sedating oil where it calms your central nervous system. So some people will use wild orange even as a way to calm down, to go to sleep at night. So there's a lot of different oils that you can, or ways that you can use these oils. Clove oil is also one of my favorites. It actually is the highest antioxidant essential oil. So just one drop of clove would be equivalent to having a 40-pound bag of carrots as far as antioxidant level. So this is really fantastic at helping with healthy cellular regeneration and things like that. So I've got this right here on the screen. You can go through and you can rewatch this if you want and just take some screenshots. I've put the recipes and I'm also going to post them in the comments below. You do want to be really careful with the clove because if you put too much in there, it can be very overpowering. So make sure that you just use a little toothpick and just kind of dip it in and swirl it around. It's a lot easier to add more than to take some away. So this is one of my favorites to make. Another thing that I use, because we do have, you see a lot of the oils from On Guard, because cinnamon's in the On Guard, wild orange is in the On Guard, clove is in the On Guard, right? And so as a faster, easier kind of shortcut that I make is I'll just put a couple drops of On Guard into some apple juice and warm that up, and my kids will drink that because that only takes a couple minutes. It's not nearly as good, and you do also have the rosemary and the eucalyptus in there as well, which is not in this recipe. But it does work. And if my kids maybe come down with, a bug or anything like that, I'll always add these oils or the On Guard oil into some apple juice for just a really quick drink, which can be cold or warm. So that one's a really great option. We also definitely, we have like somebody mowing the lawn now. So hot chocolate is one of our favorite celebration drinks in our house, especially in Utah where we get a lot of snow during the winter. Well, sometimes this last year wasn't a lot, but hopefully this year we'll get a lot of great snow. And so we love making hot chocolate, but I also don't want my kids to have an overdose of sugar and a lot of junk. So you can make this with your coconut milk and unsweetened cocoa powder, or you can use your favorite cocoa mix. And then again, just a toothpick of that cinnamon bark that we talked about. You've got all of the instructions here. This also shows you how to make your own coconut whipped cream, so you don't have all of the really synthetic processed whipped cream that you can get from the store. And so just making that coconut whipped cream to add on top of the hot chocolate kind of gives it that nice sweet creaminess to it without adding all of those extra preservatives and things like that. So that's just a quick little peek, you guys, at some of the wonderful drinks that you can have, whether it's a holiday party or a summer pool party. There's so much that you can do with essential oils and your drinks, and we've just barely scratched the surface of what you can do with these drinks. So I want to show you some of the references. We have this essential oil or essential mixologist by Jules Weinberg that I mentioned, and a few of these recipes came from her book. She does a wonderful job at giving you detailed description of all of the drinks and how to blend them exactly as either a cocktail or a mocktail, and even like the history behind the drinks and kind of how she came up with her concoctions, as well as the benefits of the oils, the co-impact sourcing of the oils that are used. It's really a phenomenal book. I definitely recommend it. You can get this on Amazon, or it's also available at Oil Life. So the other place where you can reference for a lot of drinks is the doTERRA blog. And if you just go on doTERRA.com, you can go under the advocate section. There's the doTERRA blog right there, and click on there and you can search for any recipes. So the hot chocolate was in there. There's actually a really wonderful, yummy pumpkin drink with essential oils that I love making in the winter as well. So you can see a lot of great dishes in there as well as drinks. And then for our challenge for this after party segment is to mix up a drink using at least one essential oil. I know some of you may have a lot of different oils to choose from. Some of you might just have a few, but I know from the BOGOs at least we've got the spearmint and we have wild orange and lime. Those are really great. Even if you're just putting oil into a cup of ice water, that can be a very refreshing drink. So mix up, something that I've showed you today, or one of your favorite drinks, or something that you'd like to try. Or if you don't have a lot of oils as an option, just even one of your favorite citrus oils or spearmint and some ice water, and take a picture of yourself with your drink and post the recipe, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how delicious it is. There's some drinks that I drink strictly for the health benefits, and then they might be like a 2. And then there's some that I drink because they're delicious and healthy. And so I just want to let us know how good it is, even if you're just trying something new and you might say, oh my gosh, I tried this oil and I just didn't love it. Slim and Sassy is also another really easy one that you can add to your water. And let me know. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining me, and party on. And let me stop recording. I have to find the button. Oh, there we go. It's not working. Okay, let me try this.